Good day, everyone, and welcome to Modus 2, Lesson 3 of the Undergraduate Impact Program Mentorship. In our last lesson, we discussed strengthening your attention span in a distracted world, where we learned on the attention economy, how companies are constantly competing for your attention, the role of dopamine, consequences of a shortened attention span, and strategies to strengthening your attention span. And we learned quite a lot there. Today we want to talk about procrastination, overcoming procrastination, and mastering time management. You see, procrastination is one of the biggest obstacles to productivity, achievement, and overall success. Many people struggle not because they lack intelligence or ability, but because they constantly delay important tasks and misuse their time. And time, unlike other resources, is fixed and non-renewable. Everyone has the same 24 hours, but not everyone comes out with the same outcome. In this lesson, we are going to explore the meaning of procrastination, signs you struggle with procrastination, reasons why people procrastinate, and strategies to overcoming procrastination, as well as time management techniques. So what is procrastination? Procrastination is the act of delaying or postponing tasks, even when you know those tasks are important and should be done. In simple terms, it is you choosing to do something less important or not important at all, instead of what actually matters, not because of laziness, but often as a result of self-regulation problems. Now, what are the signs to note you struggle with procrastination? If you often say, "I'll do it later," or you avoid important tasks, or you wait until last minute before you end up getting a task done, or you struggle to even start a task and you always make excuses to why you could not complete a task, you are most likely struggling with procrastination. And there are various reasons people procrastinate. Some of these reasons can be very subtle and you might not know they are there, but these things are deeply rooted and you have to deal with them. Let's take a look at some of the reasons people procrastinate. One of the reasons why people procrastinate is fear of failure or judgment. You see, people often delay or postpone tasks that they are unsure of delivering with excellence because they are afraid of mistakes or being criticized. Another reason why people procrastinate is lack of clarity. When a task looks too complicated or is not well understood, it becomes easy for people to avoid starting that task. The third reason why people procrastinate is the feeling of being overwhelmed. Large or complex tasks can make you feel intimidated and will often lead to you postponing and procrastinating that particular task. The fourth is poor time management. Inability to plan, prioritize, or allocate time effectively often leads to procrastination. Another reason why people procrastinate, and this is very subtle because it looks like a justifiable reason, is perfectionism. You want everything to be perfect, the right time, the right atmosphere before you start a particular task. As much as this looks innocent and very classy, it could actually lead to procrastination because you keep waiting for time or waiting for the perfect moment, and there is no perfect moment. You have to create your perfect moment. Other reasons why people procrastinate is due to lack of discipline and distraction. And while we give one or two reasons to why people procrastinate, there are often severe consequences for procrastination, and we are going to look at some of these consequences. Number one is missed deadlines. Delaying tasks often leads to submitting work late or not even completing your tasks at all. When you keep procrastinating, "I'll do it later," you often miss the deadline given to you to submit that particular work or get that particular task done. Another consequence is poor quality work. When you often rush to get a task done at the dying minute, at the last minute, the quality of work will definitely be reduced because you will not be able to give your best. Rushing at the last minute reduces the quality and depth of your output. Another consequence to procrastination is increased stress and anxiety because the pressure of unfinished tasks often builds up and causes mental strain. Another consequence we want to look at is the loss of opportunity. You see, procrastination can make you miss important chances in your academics, your career, and your life. Take, for example, an opportunity for a scholarship. The link has been sent to you, the flyer has been given to you, but you keep procrastinating. I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week. I still have time until applications are closed and that opportunity is gone. Other consequences to procrastination is reduced productivity, damaged reputation. Now, how procrastination can damage your reputation is if you are known for always delaying to submit your tasks or getting assignments done, people will often see you as unreliable and unserious, and that is a damage to your reputation. Now, the last but not the least consequences to procrastination is poor academic or career performance. Repeated delays can lead to lower grades or reduced work performance. Now, we want to look at strategies, practical strategies to overcoming procrastination. We've looked at the reasons why people procrastinate, we've looked at the consequences. Now we want to look at how you can actually overcome procrastination. The first is to break tasks into small steps. You know, big tasks often feel overwhelming. So rather than looking at it as an entire task, divide them into smaller, simple actions you can start easily and immediately. Another practical strategy you can utilize is to start with the 5-minute rule. Before you begin any task, tell yourself, I will do this for just 5 minutes. Oftentimes, starting is the hardest part, but once you begin, you build momentum and you're most likely to finish that particular task. Another strategy you can use is the simple time plan. Allocate specific time blocks for a task, like saying from 10 to 11, I'm going to read my book and I'm going to read this particular course. Or you can use the Pomodoro technique like we discussed in our last session. Another technique you should implement is to remove distractions. Keep your phone away, log out of social media, and create a focused environment whenever you want to do something that will be productive to your life, your career, and your academics. Focus on progress, not perfection. Don't wait for the perfect time or the perfect work environment to get your tasks done. For you to do something is better than waiting for the perfect moment. Then you can also reward yourself. After completing a task, give yourself something small to enjoy. This builds motivation and trains your brain for good dopamine. Now, once you master how to overcome procrastination, you must then know how to manage your time effectively. But first, what is time management? Time management is the intentional planning and control of how time is spent to maximize productivity and efficiency. It is not about being busy, it is about being effective. One of the key principles you should hold about time management is if you don't manage your time will manage you. So you have to choose one. Either you manage your time or your time manages you. Now, practical techniques to mastering time management. Like we said earlier, set clear goals. Know exactly what you want to do, what you want to achieve daily, weekly, and even long term. That could be monthly or annually. Clear goals give your time direction. Number 2 is to prioritize your tasks. That's one of the most important things about time management. If you don't know how to prioritize your tasks, you will give irrelevant or less important tasks priorities over the ones that are important. Focus on what matters most first. Not everything is equally important. Number 3 is to plan your day ahead. Create a simple to-do list or schedule before your day starts. And it is advised you do this a night before, so as you wake up, you know exactly what you want to achieve for that day. Another technique we can use is to avoid multitasking. Like we said in our first lesson, multitasking is often a myth, right? Do one task at a time, because multitasking often reduces efficiency and increases your possibilities of making mistakes. Another technique you should implement is eliminate distractions. Keep away things that waste your time, right? Specifically your phone or social media, or even unnecessary visitations by friends and family. Start with the most important tasks. Tackle your hardest or most important task as soon as your day starts, when your energy is at its peak. Be consistent and disciplined. Many times you won't feel like sticking to your already laid to-do list, but time management is a habit. You have to stick to your plans even when you don't feel like it. And last but not the least is to review your day. At the end of each day, check what you have achieved and where you can improve. Look at the list you wrote in the morning or the night before. How many were you able to achieve? What stopped you from achieving those particular tasks, and how can you do better? Remember this: consistency beats motivation anywhere and anytime. You will not always feel motivated, but disciplined actions leads to results. Create a system that works for you in setting daily goals, using time blocks to study, and maintaining focus. Successful people are not those who have more time, but those who use their time more effectively. And that will be all for our lesson 3 under the module 2 of the UIP mentorship. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.